I've got Debbie Klugger here from the US, and it's lovely to have you here in Australia.
Thank you, it's great to be here.
But Debbie's a life and relationship coach, and for the last hour before dinner I had a bit of a taste to it, so I'm still kind of in the afterglow of realisations after realisations. So, but it's given me a great indication as to what you really do. Mm-hmm. And again, I came here with the idea in my head that you're a counsellor, but you're not actually a counsellor, you're a life coach.
That's correct.
So rather than go through the process, what's the difference?
Well, great question. You know, I like to use the metaphor of a car. Mm-hmm. So with therapy, with a psychotherapist or counselor, as you say, usually what happens is you are, as the patient, in the side seat, in the passenger seat, and the therapist is then driving the car. And you're continually looking in the rearview mirror, yep, where you came from. Yep. So the difference with a life coach is that you, as the client, is in the driver's seat. I am, as your life coach, a passenger in the car. And while we're referencing the rearview mirror, we're only doing that so that we can see where we've been, assessing where we're at, and what's keeping us from going forward and being where we want to be.
Okay.
So that's my job. I support you in getting the type of relationship that you want, achieving the goals that you want to achieve in your life, whether it's in your career, relationships. I also do divorce coaching as well.
I got kind of excited because, putting my hand up, guilty, I have had my share of marriage and relationship problems. So when I came in here for the interview today, or for the short, I had a preset idea of that we were going to sit down and we were going to talk about the dynamics of my relationship with my ex-wife.
Sure.
And the thing I got today was like epiphany after epiphany, like it kept popping. But like you said, the most constant thing in my failed relationships is me.
That's true.
So the thing that I have to change is how I act in relationships and my relationship to myself.
That's the biggest. You're right.
The biggest and the hardest. Oh, depending on what you see as hard.
I was going to say that's perception, isn't it? But yeah, and with a little bit of practice, it gets pretty easy.
Now, during the processes, let's say that today, what do you try to get people to do? Is the goal? What's the goal? Is it to look at how they perceive their scenarios or how they perceive themselves, or is it to get in touch with themselves, or if you said you're sitting down here today with me, what do you hope to achieve out of the first session with the person?
Well, okay, so the first session is really just a warm up and a get to know, and really finding out what the challenges in your life would be, and then finding out what the false beliefs are.
We had a few of them today.
Yes, that keep perpetuating that. And so if we can discover what the false beliefs are, we can then turn those around to something positive, and you can start recreating a new reality.
Absolutely.
In your relationships and, consequently in your life.
Yes.
Because the truth is, the more connected you are to yourself and really know what you need and want, the more likely that you're going to have them, whether it's in a relationship, if it's in the car you drive, in the house you live in, the job, your life's purpose. I mean, it does encompass everything.
It does, doesn't it? And it's not just with relationships. That's like you said, it's everything you do. And again, if I was to come to you, Debbie's in America, but she's thinking of perhaps coming out down to the down under. But the people you get, how do you normally? Okay, I've had a session with you today. What's the process that comes from that? So do I come and see you on a weekly basis, or how do you normally work with your general clients?
Right. Well, not all of my clients do. I have the luxury of being able to sit down with, I do have clients in Africa, of course Australia, living in North America, and so I have North American clients as well, and some in Europe. So I do Skype.
Oh, really?
So I do Skype, and that's wonderful, although I find phone work is fabulous. Because I work primarily on the phone. I am very keen to voice inflection, and so it's as good as sitting down next one. I do like to work on a weekly basis, and I find that most of my clients get the most benefit from working weekly, or at least bi-weekly.
Because I think too, you can go to a session, you walk out feeling amazing and all this information in your head, but within a short period of time, it's all going to go back to normal unless you work on it or get reminded.
It's true. It's just like any habit, you know, or any improvement that you want to make. They say 21 days or whatever the case is, but you really do it. You're learning a whole new way of being, so that support is even more important.
All right. Anything else you want to tell me?
No, I would just like to tell you that, because I know that you're dealing with some personal challenges, and
So?
yeah, and that you can overcome those. It doesn't have to be all that difficult. It doesn't have to be a struggle.
And again, it wasn't that painful. That's what I liked about it. I feel as if I'm sitting with Queen Solomon, because she's so clever, you know. Very clever how she got this stuff out of me, I have to say. But really, at the end of the day, you're just making me do the work. You're just guiding me along.
That's it. You have all the answers, and that's what we believe in coaching, is that the client always has access to the information. So it's not about telling you how things are. I mean, you know, there are some modalities that do that. That's not what coaching is about. Coaching is about helping you arrive at your answers.
Okay. Well, I'm going to come back. Now, if you want to get in touch with Debbie, below here is a link to her website, her mobile number, and your Skype as well.
Yes.
Is that the best way to do it?
Yes, that's great.
And again, we may be sitting here in Australia, but it's only a phone call away.
Absolutely.
And I hope you do come back.
I plan to. Thank you.
See you later.
All right, good. Thanks.